Clone Wars and Rebels. United, they stand. Divided, they fall. Full disclaimer, I am a huge fan of Rebels. It's my favorite Star Wars show, and honestly, I liked it more than the Clone Wars.
It's treason then.
Wait. Don't leave. I'm gonna make this video as fair as possible. You might think it's just another Clone Wars vs. Rebels video, but my conclusion will surprise you. So stick around. And if you end up enjoying the video, hit the like button to let me know. It really means a lot. Okay, let's get into it. This music is legendary and takes so many people back to their childhood, sitting in front of the TV, watching Anakin, Ahsoka, Kenobi, and Rex's newest adventures. Not only was this show a huge influence on a generation of Star Wars fans, it also added so much to the canon, and I mean, like, so much. The world building in Clone Wars is comparable to an entire phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not only did they expand the galaxy and add more to the lore, they made the characters deeper. We saw more of Anakin's dark side tendencies. We watched Ahsoka grow from whiny youngling into a confident, fierce woman. Remember, she is
no Jedi.
Even the clones themselves received a plethora of attention and development. And last, but absolutely not least, we got one of the greatest comebacks in television, maybe even movie history, the return of Darth Maul. Heck, even if the rest of Clone Wars was garbage, it isn't. The Maul episodes would make the whole thing worth watching. Now, let's turn to Rebels. It's May of 2013. Clone Wars had been canceled abruptly, devastating Star Wars fans everywhere. A new animated show was announced called Rebels. Clone Wars fans were pretty strongly against the show from the start, which they understandably saw as an attempt to replace the Clone Wars. This new show was set shortly before the original trilogy, with a different animation style and a cast of completely new characters. The first actual known Star Wars characters to show up in this show were none other than C-3PO and R2-D2 in an episode that was mediocre. Rebels was widely mocked and derided for the first couple seasons, but a small and slowly growing group of fans really appreciated the show and loved it. As time went on, Rebels really got into gear. It started incorporating Clone Wars characters and locations while still remaining unique and telling its own story. 4 years later, fans endured Kanan's death, one of the most heartbreaking sacrifices in Star Wars, which was followed almost right away by another heartbreaking sacrifice of a character we had truly grown to love, Ezra Bridger.
And remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Then, a few years ago, Disney and Lucasfilm finally announced that they were actually going to finish the story of the Clone Wars. Clone Wars Season 7 was incredible and awesome. Okay, maybe not the Martez sister arc, but we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about Bruno.
It gave us perhaps the greatest animated lightsaber duel of all time. Now, with both shows fully completed, it's time to ask the question, which one was better? I will respond with a question of my own. What makes a Star Wars show better than any other Star Wars show? Action is obviously important, as well as world building and good Jedi, Sith conflicts, and some good old-fashioned blaster fights. But character growth and relationships between characters are even more important. Both Clone Wars and Rebels deliver on all of these fronts. So how can we say if one is better than the other? It's simple. We can't. Clone Wars and Rebels are fundamentally different shows. Clone Wars is a long 7-season anthology series, while Rebels is a shorter 4-season serial series. Clone Wars is about a war, a dark and brutal war that changed the galaxy for the worse. Rebels is about hope, the beginning of a new start for a galaxy still suffering from the Clone Wars. Clone Wars is about the Jedi at their supposed peak, while Rebels is about the Jedi recovering from their greatest defeat. Clone Wars is about the clones, and Rebels is about the rebels. Like I said earlier, we watched Ahsoka go from whiny youngling to a strong woman because she is
No Jedi.
and she was forged by Anakin, Kenobi, and the other Jedi, but she was largely influenced by the war. She says that herself.
As a Jedi, we were trained to be keepers of the peace, not soldiers. But all I've been since I was a Padawan is a soldier.
On the other side, Ezra was formed by a family. Yes, they fought battles together and made difficult choices and sacrifices, but Ezra had a tight-knit group that he could always go back to. Hera, the nurturing and strong mother; Kanan, the wise but humble father; Zeb, the annoying but loyal older brother; Sabine, the intelligent and reliable sister. Ahsoka mainly had Anakin, and we all know he's not the most stable individual to rely on.
Anakin, no!
Yet, despite their different circumstances, both Ezra and Ahsoka came out as two of the strongest, wisest, and most powerful Jedi in current canon. And because of that, I believe both Clone Wars and Rebels are incredible Star Wars shows. Clone Wars sets up so many stories that are finished or continued in Rebels. The best example is probably Darth Maul. Without Clone Wars, Rebels is great. Without Rebels, Clone Wars is great. But together, wow.
Ahsoka.
Anakin.
I won't leave you. Not this time.
Then you will die.
They have some of the best storytelling in all of Star Wars. And after all, isn't that what we want? Strong stories, regardless of the time period, actors, or media. Before I finish the video, I wanted to say thank you. My goal was to reach 100 subscribers by the time the Kenobi show released, but I reached it several weeks early and I can hardly believe it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll come back again. If you want more videos that appreciate all of Star Wars, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this discussion, then hit the like button. I'm Sitae Huber. Thanks for watching, and God bless.